What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Rewind Theater for Beyond Two Souls, the Tribeca Film Festival trailer. I'm Greg Miller, alongside the Pride of Long Island, Colin Moriarty.
Go Islanders.
Go Islanders, indeed. They're making a run, but we'll talk about that another time. Colin, this is the new Beyond Two Souls trailer. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, before you watch a Rewind, you're supposed to have watched the trailer. We both, I think, are on the same page. This is a very spoilery trailer.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of a little disappointed that I saw it at all, but since I saw it already, we decided why not just do a rewind.
Yeah, what we got to do, we want to point out all the cool stuff for you, ladies and gentlemen. So let's dial it all back here.
Bring it back one time.
You were talking about this already.
Yeah, so
you've seen, you got the
that text is new. Like, all right, so this is for nerdy PlayStation fans, or whatever. I've never seen this specific font for Sony Computer Entertainment.
Is it just the same font as the Quantic Dream font now?
I don't know. But that Quantic Dream logo is new, too. But we pointed that out, I think, in a previous
last time, they
Rewind
redesigned the thing. But if we go right here, over in the background, Jodie here in a snowy environment. We'll get to who Jodie is if you don't know in a second. Behind her there, it says Hotel Rock Rose. I Googled that.
Yeah,
Guess where it came up? India. Not a snowy environment, so probably not the same one as India.
There probably are snowy places in India, but not
let's not get ahead of ourselves.
There.
Who knows? I don't know about that.
But they don't have the I don't think it probably looks like that.
We have Jodie Holmes here, of course, Ellen Page, played by Ellen Page. Jodie's whole thing, as you know, Colin, she is attached to an entity named Aiden. We finally have a normal person saying the name, so we understand exactly how to say the name.
So it's not Aiden.
Not Aiden. Like we debated this for a long time because when you got that there David Cage talking.
Because there's a church on Long Island called Saint Aiden.
Yeah, that was one of our things, I think, where we were like, oh, well, it's probably that. But here's Jodie Holmes. She's been connected to this. The game, of course, spans her life of 15 years. Not her entire life. So her life with the entity, Aiden or whatever. Like when things really pop off, if you will.
Wait, go back to the Tribeca real quick, Greg. It's a big deal that this was even at Tribeca. Do you know what Tribeca means, Greg?
It's it's a part of New York.
Yeah, but you know what?
Robert De Niro is from there, and he started this film festival.
Do you know?
Well, sure. It means 3 Beccas.
Right.
So like there was this one time Robert De Niro had 3 daughters named Becca.
Right, exactly. It's actually Triangle below Canal Street.
Oh, well, that's nice.
And the film festival was founded in 2002. Not like a huge deal. It's kind of like a Manhattan Renaissance Film Festival or whatever. But
it's getting bigger.
And it's really cool that a video game is included there as well.
Now, of course, Jodie on the phone here, lost, scared, it seems, confused. She's calling Nathan Dawkins, played by Willem Dafoe, of course, from Spider-Man. His seminal role as Norman Osborn in the original one. Interesting, though, she asked he asked where she is, right? Were you able to make it out? At the 20, he asked, "Where are you?" It sounds like she says Tarmac, dirt track. I don't know.
Let me hear.
Tarmac.
Dirt track.
Dirt Mac? Dirt.
I don't know. I can't hear it.
Tarmac.
Dirt Mac is what I'm getting.
I don't know. I'm sure it's pretty clear. And
as Willem's dialogue goes on here, he's like, "Tell me where you are." So maybe she's not being super upfront to tell him where he is to begin with, whatever. But here we're talking about this whole "I'm very, very tired. Tell me where you are." Jodie's been doing this for 15 years, dealing with this entity, right? And it seems like she's at her breaking point. And I think for the first time watching this trailer, we really get to see her character arc, right? Like from the beginning, we knew that she was going to be this little girl who is connected to this entity. But I always thought of her more as not really doing much with it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But as we'll see, that's not the case.
And a lot of new characters in this trailer.
Right. Here's number 1. This is Sarah. Jodie's mom, it would appear, right? Here she's saying that, this seems like one of the first times Jodie's like, "Mom, there's this thing." And she says, "Oh, adults imagine a lot of stuff."
She kind of looks like one of the characters from Heavy Rain, too, doesn't she?
Yeah, the whore.
Yeah.
That's what I thought, too. That's what I thought a lot, too. And she was really a whore, if you remember the game. Heavy Rain's a great game. You should go play it. Yeah, whatever. Then this new homeless guy.
The homeless dude?
Yeah, well, who knows how much he's going to play, but he's the one who welcomes her back to Land of Living. Obviously, she's much older there. This seems like when she first breaks out, maybe, and is on her run from the agency that Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, it looks like it's like when we first saw it last year at E3, around there.
Now, here's an interesting one. Yeah, this looks to be the manifestation of Aiden shooting out of her, right? And if I was a betting man, Colin Moriarty, this is the first time it ever happens.
Could be.
Because you see, she's out in the snow, something's going on, and then who I'm going to call douche dad here.
Yeah, she has a conflict with some kid. And
douche dad. Yeah, he says, "What did you eat? What did you do to that boy?" I think that, and she's still in the same outfit. So I'm guessing that some boy's mean to her, or is about to be mean to her, hurt her, and Aiden manifests, beats the hell out of that kid. Then she gets brought home to be in trouble, and then douche dad's about to do something. Aiden's like, "I don't freaking think so. I will put this Christmas tree up your ass."
Greg, go back. There's something interesting here as well in this scene here. Go back to where you can see the TV in the back. Notice that that's a widescreen TV. Now she's a little girl, so this game does take place well into the future.
Right. It's 15 years. You're saying 15 years, maybe starting though with already being adept at technology. Maybe
right. I'm saying like this is like the 2020s.
Yeah, yeah. Ooh, okay.
You know what I mean?
When we actually take over, so we start playing through. Interesting. That's a good catch, Colin Moriarty. Yeah. I see why they give you promotions around here. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Here we go. Yeah, clock. Aiden's like, I'll shove this up your butt. And now
This is through his eyes,
one.
right?
This is Aiden Vision. If you haven't caught it or you haven't been lucky enough to see gameplay, you play as Jody, but you also play as Aiden, and you get to go around in his ghost form. And it looks like right here he is for sure eavesdropping on a conversation. Now, what's interesting here about this is that there's a line here. Susan, this is going to stop with Liam, I think. We'll listen to it, and you can tell me crazy or dead. So let's go back here.
Susan, this is going to start before we end up crazy or dead.
It doesn't sound like Jody for sure. Maybe not Liam, but it sounds like Douche Dad is trying to protect another kid.
Do you think that, yeah, maybe they have another child or something like that?
That's where I think this is all coming from. I'm thinking that Jody's father is not Douche Dad here. He's the stepdad. So he has a new kid with Sarah, and now that Jody's making crazy ghost things happen, he's worried about his own flesh.
Is this your prediction?
Is
this like your Marlowe is 900 years old
Yeah,
prediction?
this is my lock of the week.
Okay.
Also, the big question here, looking at this frame, is did we set that table? Did the heavy rain plate setting minigame
What I'm wondering is if Aiden just wants a pair.
Oh, that's all. He's just in here. The pair floats away and it leaves. Douche Dad's totally freaked out. All right, let it play a little bit more here.
Play it out.
Play it out. Douche Dad being a douche. She doesn't want to be left here. She's being left with the CIA, the government. They have this paranormal activity program. That's where Willem Dafoe's character comes in.
Because this is my question. Was it clear that that was part of the CIA? Because this has a whole international swing to it. Because the CIA has nothing to do with what's going on in the United States. So why?
You're about to see, I think.
Yeah, but I guess. But well, let's play it out.
All right. So, anyways, don't leave me here. Douche Dad calls her a monster. She doesn't like that. The hand on her shoulder there is Willem Dafoe's character, and there's Mom walking away. Nathan Dawkins though. Putting some headset. It's right there. Oh, let's rewind it a second. First off, this is a test stolen straight from Ghostbusters to see if there's any paranormal activity. We all remember that scene. But then there on the right side of your screen is Willem Dafoe, Nathan Dawkins, right? That's his name.
Yes.
Yeah. Getting ready to do some experiments and look out for Jody. When Willem Dafoe is revealed as a character in the game, here's some more Aiden Vision thrown on the table here. Not happy one bit about that. He talked about how it was a interesting relationship to play out, right? Because right here you see him being the protector, hugging her, being her father, but he is still a researcher, and he is still using her to further his career and what's going on. You see here, years later, we have full-on Ellen Page here. Full-blown Ellen Page.
Full-blown Ellen Page.
Full-blown Ellen Page virus going on. Willem Dafoe over here watching. Similar test, same old thing. She's not happy. There's the CIA logo.
Yeah, and I just feel like we haven't seen much of this slant at all. We knew that he was with like a government agency, but we didn't know it was CIA related.
And see, this is the big thing. I don't think you watch this trailer. She becomes Solid Snake in it, and that's what I wasn't expecting. We've seen her. The demo we saw at E3, her on the train. Aiden was doing all the heavy lifting, right? But as you're about to see here, either we're a division of the CIA, or they take her and they're training off her superpowers to use it for their agency. It's like at this X-Files Solid Snake vibe now, right? Of where she's learning how to actually get out there and beat the crap out of people and then use Aiden as well.
And this gentleman here that walks up, he's the guy from the very first thing we saw.
Now, is he? I don't think he is. You're talking about the guy.
The guy that she almost kills.
Right. Hold on, I have let me see here. I have it in there. Here we go. The face at 159. So. And they use him here to make us think it. I don't know if that's the same guy.
I think it might be.
It could be in the way
because it ties it all together. I think it's the same dude in all of these shots, right?
But why did he age so much? Look at how different that face looks compared to this.
I don't know. He got the shit beat out of him, so maybe.
Well, sure, that's the other thing. But his face looks definitely more well-rounded there. But again, you're right. You're bringing up good story points. So. She gets recruited for this paranormal activity test. She comes to the CIA to get trained, to be a secret agent.
She drinks some wine.
Exactly. Now she's fallen in love with one of her other agent friends. Right here, a guitar. That's Jody there. It's hard to see on our screens, but you can see a little bit better up there. Jody there with her little guitar playing some. Her and Aiden just rocking out.
Yeah,
they're a two-piece band that travels the India snowy regions. But here they're about to get it on. What do you think Aiden does when this happens?
I don't know. He doesn't like it, probably.
Exactly. That's what entities don't like it.
Do you think Aiden's like kind of in love with Jody or something?
You want to hear? I'm going to say no, and I'm going to say that it strikes me as that Aiden would somehow be related to her father, right? If Douche Dad is her stepdad, what happened to the first father? Maybe he's dead. Maybe Aiden impregnated.
It's all coming together now.
A ghost baby.
This is all contingent though on your theory to. For the stepdad. That could just be her.
This is what Rewind Theaters. Now here, this guy looks like the same guy. But it's always hard to tell in these trailers how they're cutting him and who's who. But that guy looks still to me to be the young buck trying to bed Jody over here and then over here, and that same dude yelling that you used me. It seems like, he's a plant, like in the Colin Farrell movie, whatever that was. That
phone booth.
No, not close though. The CIA one. Here she's yelling at that guy. I still don't buy that's the realty. But this is from a previous trailer we'd seen.
We've seen
where,
all this.
Yeah, gameplay here.
We saw this live actually at
Yeah.
E3.
Now here we see some more Iden powers though. Looks like he's jumping into this guy, maybe using him to get in and possess what's going on. That's an MRI machine. It looks like a scan, I'm assuming, of Jodie's brain. Maybe an interesting way to jump in and take over her. But here's where we start getting fast and loose. We've talked in the previous Rewind trailers, the other ones, that it looked like, oh, maybe this snowy environment and this thing kind of looks like a third world country. Why would Jodie be going to all these different places? Here we see what looks to be another rundown third world country kind of thing, a beat-up van. I'm making assumptions, but that's what this is all about. And then look, Jodie in full-on Solid Snake outfit, face paint on. I thought of her more as the damsel in distress as far as how this was all set up. Somebody who was just kind of like, I don't want this ghost, keep it away from me. Now it looks like she's been trained to be an operative and use the ghost in situations like this.
It's cool. It puts into context why she's so adept at taking care of herself.
Right. Here she is using her CIA skills to beat up some homeless guys, it looks like. Here's the third world country, it looks like, with the jalopy van getting thrown through. Here, I'm assuming...
Something from Modern Warfare 2.
Exactly. She's out on another secret agent mission. She's an X-Man. She's the first X-Man ever. Here she is.
Now this is the interesting scene to me.
Yeah.
Looks like, he looks like an Asian gentleman, maybe Chinese, a
general of some
Yeah,
kind.
like in some sort of military garb. There's a dude behind him,
Yeah,
strung up,
handcuffed.
basically.
Yeah. This looks to be the back of Jodie, also tied up, beat up there over on her shoulder. You see a better shot of the guy there in the background.
And so I guess what I'm saying is, regardless of this dude's nationality, whatever he is, whatever military he represents, this brings in the CIA angle much better than anything we've seen so far.
Now, you were saying CIA isn't international, or they are international?
It is international.
So that would make sense that she got brought into the government through this paranormal organization and then gets recruited by the CIA, I guess, to go out and be the secret agent operative.
Sure. I mean, it all kind of comes together here. I guess what I'm saying is it wasn't clear that she was like that like you said, it was a multinational kind of like thing going on.
Sure. Yeah, when we were trying to figure out in old trailers why that would happen, clearly stealing Uncharted's tech. Riding horses through desert areas. What does that sound? The Americas, you think, over there? Is that the deserts?
It's Red Dead Redemption, I think. It's just a callback, yeah.
Okay. It's just a callback to a game they didn't make? Okay. Again, this is another scene we've talked about before where they're helicoptering in.
Yeah, we saw this scene.
The city streets.
This is cool.
Yeah, exactly. This is another... It's hard to put together the timeline here, right? Either she shaves her head, goes out, has it in this section, then grows it long again to where she is, but it looks... to me, more like she'd be a kid, grow her hair out, get it shaved for some experiment, break out, and then all this other stuff starts happening. But again, I'm saying America Southwest here.
No, yeah, that definitely, I would say definitely that's what it is. Very unique look.
Now, this is interesting. You catch it. It happens really fast in the trailer, but over there on the right side, we have what looks to be some kind of creepy native. She's over here in American Southwest.
Now, this
he's gone.
It looks, that looks to me, looks more Aboriginal to me. This could be maybe Australia as well.
Ah, that's a good one. But look at, I guess you know more than me about cultures and stuff. The patterns on her, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, that's definitely an Indian, like a Native American, like thing. I'm just saying that he kind of has like a more Aboriginal thing going on than a Native American. Not that I'm an expert on American Indians.
Yeah, for all intents and purposes, you are. So anyway, she's got her hair on. He's gone, and then here we go back to crazy ass Solid Snake in a third world. Now we're to a burning building.
Yeah, we've seen some of the building stuff before. Some of these scenes we've seen before.
Yeah, exactly. They're starting to get together. But we see her about to jump off there. Now we have the Solid Snake gun. Her leaning over this thing. That's from the first time we ever saw the game. Rolling. Now, she pulls the trigger when it comes up here. But again, she was falling off the building. 2 times it looked like she was trying to kill herself. This, to me, was... I'm assuming she can't. I won't allow it, right? It's kind of like Incredible Hulk in Avengers, right? Where he said he shot the gun, but the big green guy spit it out. Spoilers for Avengers. I don't know, though, Colin.
That's exciting. I kind of wish I didn't see the trailer, but...
Yeah, I would have been... I mean, I don't know if it would have been more impactful, so to speak, but it was definitely... I did not expect... At no point when we have been seeing this game or talking about this game was I like, oh, you know what's going to happen, Colin? She's going to be a secret agent operative with a ghost who's always protecting her, and she's going to go around the world beating the hell out of people.
I'm not even crazy about that slant. What I'm really interested in is like the upbringing now, like with the parents and all this kind of stuff. I mean, it's
but I bet
super intriguing, and I never thought that was what we were going to see. So
yeah, but that's just going to be the prologue, I bet, right? Like you'll play for a little bit, get kicked in, and then it'll jump ahead a whole bunch of years.
Sure.
I bet that's what happens.
We'll see.
Douche dad.
Douche dad's messing everything up.
Man, you just told the story of my life.
Yeah,
just kidding. My douche dads are cool. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a Rewind Theater for Beyond Two Souls on IGN. Remember, the game comes out October 8th, 2013. For everything about Beyond Two Souls as we lead up to launch, keep it right here. Beyond.
Beyond.